when you go to the bathroom, wash your hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, wash your hands.
Everybody should stay clean, yo. Stay healthy, yo.
Don't be
Got
gross.
this dude named Joe. Come on. I work with this dude named Joe. He a bitch and a hoe. He'll snitch on you. And everybody knows. He can never be my homie or my man because he went to the bathroom and didn't wash his hands. Went to the bathroom.
Bars.
Then set the pedal. Yeah, it's a whole song. I dissed the nigga in the whole song.
Shit.
He went to the bathroom.
Great.
Yeah. Before he sat down, he ain't put no toilet paper down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, quit! You making my Bobby Digital noise, Primo Jab. Shit.
No, that was like the world news.
That was.
I thought it was my Bobby Digital. Bobby, it must be Bobby. Anyway, nice shirt. How you doing, man? Cool shirt.
That is a cool shirt.
Thanks, man.
Hey,
you got a cool shirt on, Luki.
Yeah, shout out to your barber and our friend Popovich. Shout out to all the dads out there. Yeah. And you don't gotta expect your kids all the time to be a good parent, man. Dope hoodie, Carl.
That's right. I'm part of the yacht club. You know how I do.
Boom. Yeah, you know how we do. You know, I keep it real dirty. You know how I do. Speaking of the great prophet, Nelly, I believe. Anyway, boom. We have a special guest on the horn today. It's episode 233 of the motherfucking Abyss podcast. We had him on earlier. It's been a while since we talked to you. It's been years. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
2022.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yo. Then you started dropping music.
Yep.
Dope. PECUE is in the building, yo. How you feeling, PECUE?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, man. What's been going on?
Nothing much. Just getting back into the swing of doing a lot of work. Working on music, working on art, and then trying to do some more like full album rollouts and branding. Just kind of expanding on what I'm doing.
So indeed, the last time we did talk, we were talking about you making music and like dropping the beats, and you produced, and that was like kind of like oh shit, you do? Or then you dropped that later on that year. You dropped.
Yeah, I've done a decent amount.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, the excursion joints with A-Sun and shit like that.
Yeah.
True indeed, man.
Shout out A-Sun, man.
Yeah, shout out A-Sun. And I actually have another song with him where he did a verse. Yeah. Yeah, that excursion, that actually started from, or at least the song with him, it started for I had done, actually, when he dropped his Sewer Science. Oh, you can't see it.
It's
I did the Obi for it.
Nice.
And then shortly after that, he asked me to do a single for him. For his song Disposal that he had with ST Neck. And he had reached out to me and he sent me a voice message. And that voice message is what's on the beat. So it was basically him reaching out to me for artwork. And it was, the start of it is him requesting the artwork. Yeah. And then at the end of the beat, it's his reaction to the artwork that I sent him. Okay. And I liked it so much that I just reached out. I said, is it cool if I put this on there and, feature you? And he was like, yeah, go ahead.
That's
so
really
I got a lot of good feedback on that from artists and designers because they're kind of jealous that they don't get certain feedback from someone like A-Sun because he kind of goes crazy when he hears the artwork. He sent me, a voice message for it. But yeah, man, I've done a good amount since then. I got a lot in the tank that I'm putting out, but I did it kind of came full circle in 2024 because what got me started in this lane was, and I mentioned it on the last time I was on, was doing the Soul Provider artwork for my man Screw Tape. And then and as that evolved, when he came out with Soul Provider 2, he asked me to send him a couple, like some beats that could be on the project. But then it turned out I just ended up producing the whole project for him. So kind of came full circle with that in 2024. And then since then, it's just, having 20 projects that are 3/4 of the way done, and then just trying to put the bow on those to get them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely.
Which I'm sure everybody goes through.
Yeah, definitely, yo. Multitasking, but yeah. Well, sometimes the best thing to do is just put it out there. But I never do that. I never do that.
Well, it's also, when you're making beats, you could be doing a project, and then you hear a completely different type of music that you want to sample. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go completely left, it's almost like, you could be making a project that has kind of a jazz sound to it. Mm-hmm. And then you get put onto some psychedelic 60s rock that you want to sample. And then you have to do a whole other project
because it won't fit with what
next thing you know, you end up so the next thing you know, you end up with where I am with it, which is like 15 2/3 of the way done.
I like shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Word, but at least you understand the cohesiveness of the projects, and you're gonna try to put out your best material. Mm-hmm. It's not like remember we in the 2000s they had a whole bunch of albums that sound like they just do a whole bunch of songs on it.
Yeah, you don't want to shoehorn stuff in just because you have it. It's if it doesn't fit with the album, then save it for another project, and you're way smarter to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Or you could,
and it's like you experiment with different styles of making beats too. You know what I mean? Like I have a wide range of taste in actual production that's not just in this lane. You know what I mean? I like a lot of just different styles of even the type of production that I do, switching from whether it's boom bap, abyss beats to then like going into like a Portishead type of lane. You know what I mean? Just trying to weave in and out. And then I guess maybe about a year and a half ago, I started doing some artwork for some like European house labels. So then just by proxy, you start nerding out and going down the rabbit hole of Chicago house or Detroit techno, and then you're just kind of weaving in and out, and you just get curious and start making those kinds of beats too.
True indeed. You mentioned Portishead. That's one of my favorite groups other than Wu-Tang of all time. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Third, I was so scared listening to that album. I was walking down Central Drive in Stone Mountain, and I had my CD Walkman, and I put it on. In the first song, it's nighttime. I'm looking around like someone's gonna kill me. Like I don't know. It was so amazing. So definitely when you said trip hop, I was like, trip hop is probably. I don't know if I wish I would hear more of that. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing that. Right, you got some trip hop shit. I am definitely all ears for that shit, bro. That sound kind of went away, didn't it? Like,
it. I think it just kind of evolved.
Into what? Where can I find it? My bad about blowing those.
You're fine.
Well, I'm trying to think of some. There's still some projects that still come out. Mm-hmm. I'll send you a thing on Facebook. I'm in one of those trip hop, like Facebook groups, and people are putting stuff up from the '90s that I never heard of.
Really.
I thought I kind of
It was a great time.
Heavies was one that I liked a lot.
Yeah.
Word. They have a group called Beak. BEAK. Then they have the greater than sign behind it. And it has one of the guys that's in Portishead is in that group. Geoff, whatever his name is in that.
Geoff Barrow?
Yeah, he's in that. He's in that group. Yeah.
Did you ever hear in 2007 he put out a put out a project called Quakers?
Yeah, the Quakers. SD Knack. That's my first introduction to SD Knack.
And Knack was on that.
Yeah. And he was talking about all the Supreme Mathematics, and I was all about Supreme Mathematics then. I was like, this is my shit. Word. These are English guys? Word. So yeah, the Quakers. Yeah, I definitely remember the Quakers. I did the knowledge. You could like kill Quakers in America. Like you could kill like one or two of them. Is that right, guys?
What?
Quakers. There was really a thing where you could like kill like two or three of them. It was like illegal to kill Quakers in like the Western times and some shit like that. I was like, yo,
really?
Man, yeah. Like,
I mean, in the Western times, I think people were just killing people for whatever reasons they wanted. I don't know. It was pretty lawless back then.
Yeah. True indeed. I just remember vividly.
I think just Quakers didn't fight back. That's all.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
just
you got me.
I can't see Quakers as a group being targeted like that.
I don't know why it was getting targeted.
I mean, maybe Mormons were targeted like that. I mean, we know there were definitely other groups that were targeted and fucked with just for existing. But I don't think Quakerism.
Why was the oatmeal people got smoked?
The oatmeal people getting smoked.
Well, that was in England. Like, that was, That's why they came. That's why they came to the colonies, right?
That's why they came over here. But they was heading out west. They was heading out west, and my teacher told me.
Yeah, we gonna have to Google that one, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think there's ever been Quaker oppression in the United States.
I believe so. My teacher told me this shit.
I'm a denialist.
Yeah, Mr. Webb and his wife was hot. Yeah, word. Anyway,
you knew actual Quakers? A person named
Mr. Webb was my history teacher, and he told me, and his wife was my art teacher in elementary school, and she was hot. Yeah, so I was like, dang, Mr. Webb got Mrs. Webb. Dang, yo, I want to relate to Spider-Man. Anyway, hey,
okay, hold on. Well, real quick before we get off the Quakers, historically, in the 17th century, the Massachusetts Bay Colony enacted severe anti-Quaker laws due to religious intolerance, which made being a Quaker a crime punishable by death.
Whoa! Damn, I was wrong. America's a dark place.
Yeah, yes.
Quakers too.
I hope that's not the first time you realize that, but yes, it is.
Even the Quakers got some. Well, damn. Solidarity, Quakers. Solidarity, oatmeal people.
Hey, yo, that's why we eat cream of wheat over here. Word. Hey, what you be using to cook the beats up on, PQ? What you be using to cook the beats up on?
I started out on the MPC 2000 XL. Okay. And then eventually switched over to Ableton.
Yes.
And now it's just Ableton.
Mm-hmm. You can do so much more with Ableton.
You can do so much that you don't know about. Like, I use Ableton for like 5% of what it's actually capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the people that really max it out, there's so many different ways to use. I mean, with any program or with any even drum machine, but for what you can do, and it's easier for me because I'm a more visual person. So like, it's cool where you can actually visually map out an entire song on the DAW, and you're making the beats at the same time. Yeah. But you could do, I mean, you can, and the way that you can like do sound design on Ableton, you can pretty much make a synth out of any sound.
Really?
Like you can go and record that in, and then next thing you know, you can process it and you can turn it into like a crazy like vibraphone sound.
Pitch it. You can do all kinds of different stuff with it.
So you can make a whole chord off of a pop of your mouth.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And the effects that they have built in, it's advanced so much. I got a new computer about a year and a half ago, and it came with like, I was on like a much lower version of Ableton, and then once I got the full upgrade, I was like, "Oh, this is crazy."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of weird. I always respect people that can use beat machines, MPCs, and different things like that, because I do think it's harder to work with as far as editing and really kind of pulling ideas. Whereas when you're using digital audio workspaces, having that visual really allows you to kind of dial in and go, well, what if I just do this? Yeah. What if I just shift this? What if I, you can, do a lot of that stuff and then undo it really easily and do different versions of it. And all of it's there in front of you like a map. So,
yeah,
well,
it's really like, it's the same thing for me as like, for when I used to draw stuff on paper and then scan it into Photoshop and then have to manipulate it. it's all kind of the same thing. I'm just cutting out like 2 or 3 parts of the process to make it easier for myself. And that allows the creativity to just move faster and be able to move in between ideas and stuff like that. Because on the MPC, I had like a ton of like just half finished ideas just for the sake of like, I didn't, like there were certain things that I couldn't learn.
You couldn't do.
Or couldn't do, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, there's so many steps to learning producing. Like maybe I was good on the MPC at finding samples and chopping samples, but like maybe my drums weren't where I wanted them to be. Whereas now, like in Ableton, I'm kind of learning mixing and arrangement and song structure all at the same time. And it just kind of gets certain things just moving along a lot faster, and it doesn't get in the way of creativity or anything.
Definitely.
You use both sometimes? Can you like just chop it up in the Excel and then put it into the Ableton?
I could, doing that? And I did that. Shit. Like initially, initially Ableton was just like, Pro Tools for me. Like I was just using it to dump the sounds from the MPC into. But I mean, it's a big ass piece of equipment to carry around, and like now I have a whole studio on my laptop, and like I'll even use. I mean, I have a MIDI controller, but sometimes I'll just use like ASDF on my keyboard. Like that's what I'm hitting to trigger samples and program drums and all of that stuff. And you can even like play that? Keys on your
Those
keyboard.
Are keys on your keyboard.
Like the letter keys on your
They're
keyboard.
They're another pro right under QWERTY.
It's right there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. My bad. Like I didn't have that typing class in 10th grade. Yeah, with the Macs. Remember the Macs? Y'all remember the Macs that like had the clear backs or they were clear and had colors?
Yeah.
That's what we learned.
That big bubble kind of screen.
Yeah.
Or the back of the monitor had this big kind of bubble.
True indeed. Yeah. But yeah. The whole process. Can you explain a little bit more of how like it correlates to like art in beats? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a roundabout way. So like before I was doing artwork or doing any graphic design, like when I was young, like teenage years, I wrote graffiti for a couple years. And then this sounds kind of weird, but like my process for making beats is sort of evolved from how I used to write graffiti. And then now my artwork is evolved from how I learned how to make beats. I can't fully explain that, but I kind of look at the artwork as like it's kind of like making a beat. Like you're just grabbing references, all different references, and trying to like crowbar them into this space on a screen and trying to fit them all together and just like flip them in my style. I should note though that but I should note that when I say that I used to write graffiti, like that is not any claim to like being some like graffiti king or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No. But it definitely gives an interesting perspective as to your style though, because your style, I can see how it would flow from that because, a lot of times really great graffiti would utilize the shapes to create other things and work inside the spaces to give, that texture or whatever it was. So, it's kind of interesting that you said that. I did notice.
But I should say like that's definitely my foundation. But like the reason that I make sure that I lay claim to, or that I don't lay claim to that is because there's a lot of artists that will throw the graffiti background, even though they never really did much, to kind of make themselves seem more interesting. And I don't do that. Like I have friends that went really far in that world, and and they sacrificed a lot of time. They're,
No,
going
that's
to
respect.
jail and stuff.
I
going to
get
jail.
that.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
That's respect
gang.
for that craft, and people have done it. I get that.
It's gang shit.
I did notice that you got to team back up with Wavy and Eddie Kane for
Kane.
1224 Nightmare, and I love
Yeah.
that cover. So beautiful. What was it like when you got that call?
It was cool, man. They that first 1224, that was like pretty early on in me doing artwork in this lane.
Yep.
And that cover got me a lot of work.
Well, it was iconic.
After that.
And attached to a really, really special project.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Eddie Kane. I'm a big fan of Wavy the God, but that project specifically is for me a no skip. And I think, your artwork for that, one of the things that we've mentioned a lot is that artwork can really elevate a project and in a lot of cases make you want to check a project out. And I think not only is that true in that case, but I think it's something that you created a similar magic in the artwork that they created in that music. And
thank you.
Those together. And then for all three of you to repeat that and elevate that is super impressive to me.
Yeah. What was cool was, and the three of us were on like an Instagram group chat. And a lot of times we were just sending, voice memos to each other and stuff. And, the thing that I'll say about the first cover was that it was a really nice exercise in restraint because I kind of held back on like some of the things that I'm known for, like a lot of just like wavy, squiggly lines and stuff. I kind of approached that more as like trying to do something real clean, almost like it was all hand drawn, but it was like traditional graphic design. You know what I mean? If you look at it, it's just the face that I drew and it's just like the custom type. And then on the back, it was just like trying to do a really clean layout.
Yeah.
And that project got me, it got me kind of situated with doing like for a brief period of time, doing a lot of work with a lot of the guys in the Walkers.
Yeah.
And then also, just the experience in general, because I didn't really know those guys at all at the time. And just to kind of learn that like, they're both like really, really cool dudes.
Yeah.
And just like, kind of just like a general, like over the years, just a very positive, back and forth with both Eddie and Wavy. So then it was like cool when it finally came around to this. And because I did the first project through just some brief interaction with Wavy. And then Eddie reached out since then. And it was kind of cool too, because like the three of us since that first project have put in a ton of work and, like made like a little name for ourselves. But I think we all kind of hold that project as something that's like sort of, kind of a special thing. So it was nice to return to that,
launching
take the same concept and do something new with it. But
beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was, and I'm glad they reached out to me for that. Cause I wouldn't have felt a certain way if they used somebody else, but I'd be like, come on, man, it could.
No, it had to be you, man. Cause the part 2 cover is like, I was so happy and surprised when I saw the part 2 announcement. It was a great time. Yeah, it was a great time.
1201. I was waiting on Bandcamp. I downloaded it immediately when it dropped.
But I'm just saying, not only that, it was like, bro, the way y'all rolled it out, and you can maybe talk on this because I know you said that's something you're kind of into right now. I mean, did you have anything to do with the idea? Because they just announced it like 3 days before it happened or something. Yep. It wasn't like, oh yeah, a big buildup. It was just like, hey, guess what? And I was like, whoa, okay. The sequel, and it's with all the main players, it's everything, and it came out of nowhere. It was perfect for when it came out. Like, how did y'all decide? I mean, obviously there's a lot that went into y'all deciding it, but did you play a role in any of that?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I, I did. They reached out to me. We went back and forth for about a week on like a couple different ideas. Wavy actually gave a lot of the creative just ideas to throw out. Like I would spitball stuff with them. Wavy would send it back. He just said that he didn't want it to be one of the things that like you got to approach with that is because, you know, the project is 12/24 because it's both of their birthday is on Christmas Eve.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You want to tap into that a little bit, but you don't want to make it look like a Christmas album.
Right.
So you have these little things, and they both had suggested that they wanted just the idea to be a little bit darker than it was the last time. Yeah. So that's where that came from. I wanted, like, color wise, I just went with a darker color.
Yeah. But still that green and red, but just a really, really deep, like a deep hunter green.
Yeah.
There's
right there.
Yeah, I've got it in front of me.
PQ, I thought PQ was finna grab it. Pause.
I love the letter style that you got on there. Personally, I think you went crazy on it. I feel like that's
what I'm most proud of.
The goat mermaid,
or letter style's ill on there.
Just like, I don't know, man, it grabs me.
Oh, so that was another thing that I was kind of proud of. Now I have the first one right here, and if you actually look at this first one, it's kind of the layout. This is the back cover of the first one.
Yeah,
it's kind of what
swirling
the layout is.
Out the front. Yeah.
Yeah. But for the new one. And yeah, that I'm not a big like Zodiac dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really understand a lot. I don't understand any of that shit. But in the midst of like us going back and forth, I think I sent the color palette over to them, and Wavy said something like earth tones for the earth signs or something like that. Like he just not knowing that he was giving me an idea. And then I started looking. I think they're Capricorns. I'm not sure. I just did some research on that, and they said,
I don't know. I'm with you, bro. I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know. What?
Yeah, like somebody will like talk about somebody like, well, they are a Pisces, so like, all right,
I'm a Pisces. I don't know. No way. Yeah.
Here's the science for it. Here's the science for it, and take it or leave it. But these are some actual facts about these designations. We'll call them, right?
Designations.
Being born in a certain time and being titled something a different thing. It's an actual fact that the movement of the planets are affected by gravity, right? And gravity affects each body differently because, for example, you see the tides, right? That's affected by the moon moving closer and further away. Your body is 72% water, 75%, let's say, rounded up. So it's obvious that you would be affected by things of the alignment of planets or celestial bodies being in a certain place at a certain time when you're born. That's the whole idea, the concept of it behind it. Put whatever weight you want to put into it. I mean, saying, that person behaves this way and that way, that's a whole nother thing. That's like a deeper, that should say, after XYZ, a study of 10,000 people born during this month of time, I have established these traits exist. So that's all it is. I mean,
your sign, PQ? You know your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
I'm a Capricorn too. That's
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes. I don't know.
but anyway, when he whatever sign Wavy and Eddie are, I looked up. I was like, oh, that's great. That's content. And one of the symbols for the Capricorn, I think it's called the sea goat. So it was like, oh, that's perfect.
Sea goat.
And it fits in with, I live near the beach. It's like doing like wave type art is in my wheelhouse, and I'm working with a dude named Wavy the God. So it's like, it all fits in. And the whole hill thing that that's from the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. It kind of looks like a wave, so it all sort of just connects to each other somehow.
I will tell you what really strikes me about it though is like at the bottom you have the kind of square nosed kind of PECUE face hidden into the swirls of the bottom, and you have a definitive style, but you show in that one spot there your range because the detail and the style of that drawing, very illustrative, but really well done. Like, you know, obviously for my wife, goats are a huge subject matter, and it's something I see a lot of images of. And so as much as I love the whole piece of work, I am so drawn to that. I think it's really well done. I really love the way you styled it. I love the way you mixed in your swirls with it, but kept that high definition in the tail and in the face. And just, I was so excited when this project came out, and I was so glad that they brought you back in for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. I went back and looked at it right now, and just the details on the face and everything. Yeah. It's pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. No one does it like you, bro. And that's why one time somebody posted an ad on Instagram, and it looked like you did it, but they didn't give you credit on the ad. And I hit you up, bro. Did you do this? You remember that shit? Yeah. I was ready to go to war, bro. I was ready to go to war because some people you just can't duplicate some certain things. You just can't. And I was like, yo, they done took this man's artwork, or they took his style in this. I was mad, but it's like when you said it was you, I was like, okay, cool. I don't gotta go report this page.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I've done well, because I don't consider myself the best artist. I don't consider you know what I mean? There's plenty of people that can draw and paint much better than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been able to kind of put a couple different elements together to where if you do try to copy it, it's going to be pretty evident. You know what I mean? Like it's
you have a definitive style.
Yeah.
But you're very expressive in that style. So it's not like all of your work looks the same, which is incredible. And whether it's just the color choices that you use, you know, like I mean, you can look at any of your work and automatically I just go, oh, that's PECUE. You know, it's just 100%. But yet you get so much variety in that style, and you found this way to really be creative and expansive in that style, whether it's working with Andre de Saint or, you know, just all of these different people.
Yeah. The Malcolm joint was beautiful, bro.
You bring something completely unique to each project that's still 100% wholly your style, and I love that.
It's Neptunes. Cool, it's Neptunes. You get it? Am I being dumb? Okay, you hear a beat that comes on, and you be like, "Oh, that's Neptunes. They did that." But then you hear LL Cool J, "I Love You Better," and you be like, "Oh shit, that's Neptunes."
Yeah.
Then you hear comment, "I Come Close." Oh shit, that's Neptunes too. Holy shit!
Right.
Yeah, but you don't really know off the bat. But then you're like, "Oh yeah, that's Neptunes." Yeah. But then there's certain Neptune beats. You know it's gonna be Neptune. Yeah.
I see the science that you spin upon.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that. I was just listening to Pharrell on a podcast that he was on in probably like 2013, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Peter Rosenberg from used to be at Hot 97 that was interviewing him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that Rosenberg was saying that he was DJing a party, and he just said, let me do, it was just like 2003. He just did a full like hour and a half of just Neptune's production.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody noticed that it was just Neptune's production because it was basically just all the biggest records that had been out for the last 2 years. They did like, I mean, that's all the same sound. Like the actual sounds that they're using are the same exact sounds, and they're flipped so many different ways. That's like, it's a crazy talent.
Yes.
Also, though,
that's pretty dope.
Neptunes, though, they also have that intangible sound, right? that when you, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like when you hear a Neptune's beat, it has a certain air to it, a certain mix down to it, a certain engineering
A
quality,
production
to it.
quality.
The Neptune
Production
sound.
quality. Thank
They
you.
said make you blink like the Neptune sound.
Yeah.
And you can yeah, man.
So you have your blueprint. You have your signature per se, PQ. Your signature.
Yeah.
It's like the Neptunes had a signature. I have a whole playlist of Neptune's beats at work, and it's strange. And then Danger by Mystical. I went back and listened to that. He had definitely SA'd them women. Listen to that song. He definitely in jail for keep him locked up, bro. I mean, yo,
no one's screaming. Nobody's screaming free Mystical.
Word. Who are your favorite producers, PQ? But listening to your latest singles and stuff, who are some of your favorite producers right now? Not of all time, but of right now.
Have you guys ever heard this dude? I'm kind of new to him, but he's been putting in work for a while. Child actor.
No,
is that his name?
Let me check him out.
Wait. I think I got his name right.
Don't worry, man. I get it wrong. I get everybody's name wrong. So boom.
He did some beats for. He produced some really good songs on Navy Blue's last album.
Okay.
Ain't Navy Blue the dude that meditate doing the show?
I'm not sure.
Child actor. He got Earl sweatshirt.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's in that world a lot, and he's done a couple. If you listen to some of his beats on Navy Blue's last album, but then when it comes to right now, because producers always kind of just check for other people. You're kind of looking for which ideas you can kind of incorporate yourself in a lot of ways. But I still honestly like the guys that it's been Future Wave, Spanish Ran, Big Ghost. I'm trying to think who else those guys are all putting out good bodies of work, and I feel like they're in a lot of ways they're their own creative directors too. They could sort of they can really mold something. Conductor, still, I think Conductor Williams is still.
Yeah, he's pretty dope. We have a problem.
You and him.
No.
Here's the tagline.
Not this time. Not this time.
Oh, okay.
The ad lib.
Yeah. Everybody out there, I'm not gonna. That's my Missourian brother too. He's from Kansas City. So boom, I'm from St. Louis. Boom. So what up?
Yeah.
What are they?
Something that was really interesting with him is I was watching some of his YouTube videos, and he was saying that he models a lot of his production after art. So he'll look up at art history stuff. One of those, so he was saying one of the beats that he did for Drake, it was, he was trying to do his version of what this artist Marcel Duchamp used to do.
Duchamp was a fantastic painter.
So it was him trying to mimic what Duchamp was doing.
Interesting.
One thing I say though, when people talk about their top 5 producers, I always say when you're going to do top 5s, especially if it's all time, I think at this point, for the sake of conversation, we need to take RZA, Premier, and Dre and just kind of elevate them to this Mount Rushmore thing.
Yeah,
and just kind of have it there, because you're eating up 3 slots.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
Those are givens. They're a part of the DNA. Leave them out.
And I feel all 3 of them did stuff that it was done at a certain time, and it just can't be mimicked ever again. Nobody can do it as big and culturally relevant as them.
Yeah, and it's so funny
that
RZA
argument.
Can't even do it like RZA no more. That bugs me the fuck out sometimes. He even make beats like RZA after the flood. He can't even get it
right
back like that.
Somebody put up a meme before, and it was the worst thing to ever happen to RZA was him actually learning how to do music.
Yeah, learning music. Yeah,
when he didn't know how to play instruments, the beats were so raw, and it was almost like he was figuring them out on the spot. And you don't know anything technically. You're just kind of going specifically by your ear. Because you listen to a lot of those, like, especially on the first album, it's like, in my ears, I'm listening to stuff in the headphones, and I'm like, these two things aren't supposed to be together. They're completely out of key. Bring the Ruckus is completely out of key and off beat.
I love it.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, I will say that I've heard that a lot, but that's not solely a RZA problem. It happens to a lot of people that start out as self-taught musicians and then decide that they're going to, study and learn music theory. And, one of the biggest problems with education, whether it's in visual art or whether it's in music, is people will tell you that there are rules. And rules fuck up creativity, and they fuck up ingenuity, and they fuck up expansion. And you wouldn't have abstract art if, the original masters were able to gatekeep who could do art. You know what I mean? Yep. Realism turns into surrealism turns into abstract, and all of these things are just breaking rules. And you need that. You need the freedom to be able to express yourself in the worst way possible. And I'll give you a really good example on our scale of somebody that breaks rules and it works is God Bless Beats. Oh, because if you asked any engineer or any person that masters music, his low end bass is ridiculous. You're not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be distorted and grimy. But if you don't let him do that, then you don't have God Bless Beats. And it's sorry. So
no, hey, something else to hop on there, man. Shout out Bless, but yeah, I think one thing that one rule that does exist, I think in art specifically, is that you must be yourself. That's the only rule that exists.
Honesty.
So as long as you follow that one rule, everything else that you expand out into and experiment with and create or take chances on, take risks with, is just you being yourself. It's just adding on to that rule. So you can take inspiration from, like you said, you could take inspiration from the most classic realist art to some, like you said, some random abstract cubist type anything, and just mess with it. There's no rules other than me being myself. So this is my interpretation, and everything's about interpretation, whether it's how the listener is listening to it and what they take away from it, whether it's a visual thing and somebody's looking at it and what they saw that you didn't see, or how they saw it versus how you saw it. How you build, that's it. As long as you're building that way and staying yourself, you know, that's the only rule that exists.
And I think too, like with music, with art, with all of that, it's like in some ways you're kind of like revolting against what came before you. So it's like, you know, like part of what made the initial run of like Doom and Company Flow and all that so appealing
was a middle finger to the industry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
And then and it kind of happened with Griselda. Like, you know what I mean? Like Griselda came out in the midst of trap and EDM influenced hip hop, which I love a lot of that stuff. But then to hear those guys come on with something so minimal, and then you kind of have it now where like, I'm always waiting for like somebody in this abyss lane to do something that's like fits next to what everybody else is doing, but it still kind of has like kind of causes some tension against it. Because I feel like with the art stuff, what made, you know, like if we're just going with convention in this abyss thing, it's like part of what I can speak for myself, and I would maybe speak for like someone like Squat Dead Face, is like what I think allowed us to get some traction in this lane, besides like some of our stuff getting shared by like West Side Gun or whatever. But like, but the other thing too is like, Sepp came along and did something so well, but then every cover, you know, besides maybe like Bernard Rollins or something, like everybody else was just copying everything what Sepp did there. And so like you have this run of like poor imitations of like the great stuff that he did. So then when Squat comes along and then maybe like a year or so later I come along, it's, you know, it's like following the same lineage, but looks completely different. And it makes it, yeah. Or just, you know, strangers that kind of get along. It's not.
I think it's more of an example of like an era. That's how you define an era, when there are multiple heads that are all coming up with their own unique styles of doing things. Like in the Renaissance, when all those artists were coming up, and I don't want to misquote whichever ones were there, but you know what I'm talking about. All those visual artists came out at the same time.
Just say all the Ninja Turtle names, bro.
Different things. Yeah, the Ninja Turtle, you know. But they were all there at the same time, and they weren't necessarily competing or anything. They all organically evolved, and this was what they were presenting. This was their perspective. This is what they created, their creation, their path. So, man, it's just an era, man. I think that's something I mentioned a lot, is that that's why I feel like this is a renaissance, because we're so fortunate that not only just music, but visual interpretations also exist of just such great quality and such great lineage. Like you're saying, people that were inspired by certain things, and just the energy is just so, everybody's on the same mission, but coming at it a whole different way. And it's beautiful, man. The wavelength is there, man. We're all vibrating on the same wavelength. Sorry, I'm talking all that Aquarius, Gemini shit, you know?
No, that's cool. I will say, I do think there is currently an artist that's kind of on the up and coming that we just talked to, that is very much like that, fits into this boom bap lane, but is doing it very differently. Cameron Bahani. He just has this really unique style that's very different than kind of what's the norm out here.
And you ain't talking about killing every song.
Well, not even just the subject matter, but just the style of how he raps. You know, he also. I think he raps at a faster pace than what we're used to in a lot of instances. And it still works incredibly well when he's rapping alongside of Snotty or Pro Dillinger, or, you know, anybody else that he's rapping with. So yeah, I kind of see that where, you know, I don't have to do it the same way everybody else is doing it and still exist in this lane. It still qualifies under this underground boom bap sound. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that I have to spit it the same way that they're spitting it.
I think that describes Jab perfectly. When I first encountered Jab, I was like, yeah, he definitely is going in on some different. Ain't nobody sound like Primo Jab. Also, back to the cousins, brothers things. Like, everybody has their own style. But one thing I'm glad that went away while you guys stayed here is the blacking out of the eyes on album covers that came, and it finally went away.
Yeah.
And since you guys are organically doing stuff and doing stuff, real stuff, instead of just finding something and blacking the eyes out, y'all stayed, and that went away for the most part.
Well, I think too, like in this lane, there's been a couple different ebbs and flows. Like I remember when I first came into it, it was almost like, and I'm trying to like, I guess when I say that I'm trying to work on the rollouts and stuff like that, I'm trying to do something to kind of bring a little bit of that feeling back, because bless you, when I guess when I was first doing it, it almost felt like we were on like a fucking pirate ship or something, and we were just like moving. You know what I mean? Like there was so much art, there was so much like the releases were coming along. Now I feel like it hit a point a couple times where I feel like it got a little bit oversaturated, and then like like you said, Carl, like there's going to be some artists that want to differentiate themselves from it because it's been going on so long now where like if you have an artist in this lane, then if he comes in or she and they're like, say like 24, 25 years old, there's a pretty good chance that they only are cognizant of this lane because like when they were like 13, 14 years old, that may have been, like if their entry point was Fly God or like even like something like rock, like
That's incredible.
the movement has been going on for a very long time. And it's like
at 11-ish.
Yeah. So like,
wow.
So I guess
didn't think about that.
So and I think about that like with other eras of hip hop and like even like other like subcultures and genres of music, sometimes they give themselves that, you know, after that like 5-7 year run, the culture starts to kind of eat itself a little bit. And then you need like that fresh new thing to come along with it. And I feel like we might be in that a little bit now because we've also seen like part of the reason that this lane worked so well at a certain point, and it still works, like I'm not saying anything like that, but like the other even like divisions of underground hip hop that weren't this Abyss thing, they were kind of shitty. Now like a lot of those things are kind of getting good again. And you're even getting some like more commercially, like when even like last week, like when I was watching like the Grammy nominees and stuff like that, a lot of those not, you know, there was a point for like 5-10 years where like just didn't pay attention to the hip hop category of the Grammys. Now you see them and it's like, yeah, they deserve to be there, most of them. You know, like and you saw like, you know, the whole Clips thing in the summertime was very exciting.
It was.
You start to see like, you know, the Legends Have It thing, like there was some excitement in there, and so you're starting to see like that level up, and it makes it cool because Rome was kind of like in the mix of that, you know what I mean? Like it was fun to see Rome stand in with Paz de Noose and Nas. Like that was like, holy shit, like that's cool. Crazy. And like, you know, I think what was it? I think it was like Raekwon and Havoc went on tour back in the fall, and Rome was opening up for them. But it was like, that's crazy. Like I know people that are like sort of just pedestrian music fans that aren't really into things, but like, you know, like Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep were part of their growing up, so they're going to go to that show, and it's like, you know, it's kind of a fun thing for me because it's like, you know, I've worked with Rome a couple times, so it's like, you know, it makes it sort of fun. Like people kind of understand what I'm doing finally, because for a while people weren't really paying. You know, I'm talking about people I grew up with weren't paying attention. Now they kind of understand the context of it.
Rome's one of our guys.
Like you said, man, it's a 7 degrees, a 6 degrees of separation. Lucy says it's
more like
it's
2.
even 2
Might
or
be like
3
2
nowadays, and it's gonna elevate the prestige of what we're doing down here, quote unquote down here. You know what I mean? But also, like you said, now the layman, regular, casual listener can relate to you and say, "Oh, I know, PECUE, oh yeah, okay, Rome Street, I know, okay, exactly that." You know, so that's a, like you said, it's a great thing. It's been a magnificent thing seeing just the embrace of Rome Streets by a lot more casual listeners. It's a beautiful thing, and I think it just goes to his skill, man. Like, you know, he spits so plain. His talk is so plain, but his style is so raw. You know, it's so
he's a rapper.
It's so interesting. It has a lot of energy, a lot of air to it that draws you in. So I'm glad that he's getting exposed in that way, so that people can really appreciate it. Because if you hear him, you're hooked. That's why it's called noise candy. You know, it's that audio dope, man. If you hear it, you're hooked, man.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, it's kind of cool to see him still being in this, but still being able to like transcend it a little bit. I want to see more people do that.
Yes.
Like I want to see.
I think him doing it is going to allow others to do it. And you already see like Mickey Diamond working with Method Man. And, I think you're honestly going to see that, the same way Griselda opened a lot of us to the underground. I think having somebody like Rome breaking that barrier is going to open a floodgate for others to be able to go through, so definitely.
Like to the point where like it's been cool to see like over the last couple of years, you see Wes pop up on Travis Scott's album, and then even him having stuff like he's got Denzel Curry and Jid on his projects, and then he's on their projects. It's like a mutual thing where it's like,
they respect.
I feel like, and like I love those guys, so it's cool for me to see like, I don't know, like I would like to see like more opportunities for some of the, and like you have conductor producing on the Drake album. Yep. You have these little things where it's like, it's cool to see like people from our world infiltrate into that. Yeah. And the other thing is big up to like Kip the Fog. Like Kip the Fog was on Double XL. You know what I mean? Like he's on their site and he's in the same article as Cause.
Like, that's major, you know right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Another big crossover that happened was Stove Gods and the Clips album.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Yeah, that's a big
I think that was crazy. Now,
let's not forget Alchemist as well.
Oh yeah. But Alchemist is Uncle Al's been Uncle Al's been like there a long time.
I got one for you that's goes back to what you were saying, PQ, about like an album or an artist that kind of exists here, but is just right outside, kind of disruptive to here. Lukey's gonna love this.
What he is?
Mactavius Brierson, man, Markami, man.
Oh yeah. But that album's not real.
I'm just saying that name because I like that name. But I think Rich Ash Haitians is the album that you're talking about, PQ, that exists in this world, but kind of just right outside it, because it took some chances in the attempt for creativity.
Yeah, sonically, I love that shit. I love that album, yo.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
I love that album, yo.
That's as far alternative, I think, as you get currently for where we at right now. Rich Ass Haitian.
When that album came out, I was like, this is like that's like what that was almost like this Lane's version of like a really true like Tribe or De La album. Like it had, I was
gonna say like The Love Below or something. Personally.
Yeah, like it had that grit to it, but then it was like going in all these different directions. It was so exciting when that came out.
Yeah, he was rapping too. He was rapping. Droog had the verse of the year, even though motherfuckers hated it. You know
shout out your old Droog, man. I have never heard a bad your old Droog verse.
Nope.
Droog's incredible.
Yes. I've heard bad Droog songs, but I never heard no bad. Every time Droog has a lot of woo factors. Even the songs I don't like.
Yeah.
Even songs I don't like, he says some crazy dope shit, yo. He blocked me on Instagram. Yeah. I don't know why.
Okay,
check it out. Here's another thing happening, fellas. As you know, I've been involved in these mind games shows with the Felons and Jay Petta. The hardcore, the metal with the it's called Mind Games.
I'm like Mind Games. Who are you playing Mind Games with? Are you torturing people?
Right.
What is going on
here?
And I just heard PQ mention Denzel Curry. Denzel Curry just made a song with the metal group Knocked Loose.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So he has a song with Knocked Loose, and Denzel Curry is much more popular than Knocked Loose. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're a metal group, it does kind of remind you of a little bit of Linkin Parkish type deal sometimes. Shout out to Jay Rhymes. But they just crossed over, bro. Denzel got his gold teeth on rapping. Knock Loose is playing. My bad. Knock Loose is making it playing. It's like they are watching us, yo. They have been watching the underground and taking our formula because it works, but it's organically happening down here, and they're taking it together. There's a show.
there's a third option, Lukey.
Yeah, but hold on.
Maybe they're just fans.
Maybe, but they don't have the idea until they see the idea work. Like, yeah, they see it work. Oh shit, I can do this. Well, let me reach out. Also, they had a show. I didn't know if it happened. It was Baby Osama, Rock Marcy, and a couple other metal bands. They were supposed to have a show. That was like our deal, and they made another show. Metal and hip hop. So people are watching underground.
They blend and what first of all, Jay Petta, one of my favorite lyricists.
Mm-hmm. Really? Hell yeah.
Like that dude's a really good writer.
He is.
He's a teacher.
And
he's a smart dude.
He does because I got put on to them from when he was on this.
Really?
And then
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Yeah.
And then probably about 3-4 months ago, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the punk and hardcore band H2O.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar.
But the lead singer, Toby Morse, he has a really, really good podcast. And he had Jay Petta on that. And that's one of my favorite interviews. It's so good.
Amazing.
And and then I got put onto them, and then there's the other band in their lane, Combust. Which,
Andrew.
Yeah, we're familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Combust. Yeah.
And
they're insanely good too. Yeah.
They're good, and their album that came out, Rome Streets on it.
Oh yeah.
Like
definitely.
Rome goes on, you know what I mean? Like he goes on doing like a kind of like an interview.
DJ?
No. That's Final Resting Place. The Carbine is in Final Resting Place. They're pretty good too.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, copy.
And he plays another band too. Discontent. He plays in Discontent, and he plays on Final Resting Place and is Rome Streets DJ. Ain't that crazy?
And we've got a song with Lukey on it. So
hell yeah, the crossover is real.
Yeah.
But yo, let's go to this right here. Yeah, definitely. Season 2. Word. Bomb Mars now. But anyway, boom. The H2O interview was so funny when he talked about his wife loving Madonna. And
oh my God, it's so
I
good.
love Madonna, yo. I love Madonna. And then he said, yo, Tiff likes all that weird hip hop. Hip hop. Here we to the hop in the bang, bang, the boogie in the bang. He's like, yeah, that's the hip hop that she loves. I'm like, nah, I can't get down with that shit, yo. I can't get down with that, yeah. But Jay's been making music for years. And for him to finally get the credit he deserves after being a soccer player, graffiti writer, someone to moss freely, he deserves all that shit. Everybody, he is royalty.
Yeah.
Hanging out with him at shows, he is fucking royalty. Everybody says something to him.
The nicest dude.
Yeah.
Like he is so cool in person. He is just so gracious and amazing. I'm a huge fan of his for sure.
Yeah, he'll punch you in the face though. Thank you.
Jay. Respect. Yeah. He'll stand up for his friends. That's for sure.
Thank you, Jay and Nick. Thank you, Jay and Nick. Word. And thank you to. I can't say that shit, bro. That shit real.
I definitely want to see where that crossover. I want to see that evolve a little bit more, and I want to see it happen with our lane and even some other kinds of music. You know what I mean? Like it would be cool to see it blend into that trip hop lane.
I want that.
If producers start getting more experimental with the sounds.
I want that.
There's a lot of places it can go.
Mm-hmm. Years ago, I told Big Ghost, because we're supposed to make an album, probably still are going to make one day. I've said, send me your weirdest shit. Don't send me no regular shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 8 albums promised in the back, like in the rear that I never started. But I said, send me your weirdest shit. I do not like regular shit. It just sometimes does not appeal my ear. Well, sometimes regular shit does appeal. I'm a soulful dude. I'm still a black guy. I still like watermelon chicken and like girls with big butts, and I cannot lie. Yeah.
Lukey, it's Black History Month, man.
Like you said, a historic Black History line.
What you talking about, man?
Yeah. Big butts.
All right,
Jerry
lie. Rice.
Anyway, boom.
Get out of here, man.
Like, I'm really interested in when you put this trip hop sounding album out, because like, I love different sounds. I love the techno shit. I love the psychedelic lane. Silver Apple's one of my favorite groups of all time. So when you said that, I just got really excited. So cool. Word. So I'm off.
And there's stuff that's just like full on pop. Like I like there's
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of pop music that I like, and it's like seeing how to fit those in. Like sometimes, like, you know, there's those genius groups like Nirvana or
Free.
the Beatles that can actually make the stuff that is like, you know, it appeals to everybody, but then you can also see the genius in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm not one of those people, but you know what I mean?
Hey, yo, I was just saying on my Instagram page, I said, yo, the world was fine when Gundam Style ruled the world. Yeah. Word. Somehow that song
I saw
blew
that.
up.
I like that on
Yeah.
your Facebook.
But it was, I mean, do you remember? It wasn't, everything was cool.
It was
Everybody
everywhere.
was, yeah, that B ruled the world for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
So I learned later on, and I don't know if it's for that particularly, but I remember somebody saying that was the start of it. Part of the reason that all this like K-pop and like all of this stuff is over here is that apparently the Korean government puts money behind their artists because they see it as like the more cultural influence they can have, the more important they are in the status of the world. So like they actually put money behind getting, you know, Korean culture coming over to Europe and the United States.
Yeah. And they make them have their own TV. They make their own TV shows and sitcoms and shit with them, starring like Shiny, G-Dragon, all them guys. Yeah. Don't ask me how I know about this. I dated some witchy chicks that like anime and listen to, I can't hear you, Carl. You talking to me?
A lot of stock in that, though.
I got stock in that?
No. In like Korea's, in what Korea is trying to do. If you think about it, and you know, obviously, you know, someone could counter with poor education in America, but if you ask most countries in the world what they think about the United States, they have an opinion, and they'll know something about us. Yet you ask average Americans, all right, well, tell me something about Sweden. Tell me something about Uganda. Tell me something about, and it's going to be extremely ignorant or limited knowledge because, you know, and so I think a lot of that is because we have culturally kind of spread what's typically American throughout the world.
Ain't Zoltan from Sweden? Zoltan Ibrahimovic? Yeah, that's the only thing I know about Sweden. That's the only guy.
See?
Zoltan Ibrahimovic. That's the one thing I know about. 80 things about Korea. Sweden. Yeah, who?
IKEA.
That's not a person though.
But it's from Sweden.
That's why they design is blue and yellow. It makes sense.
Yes.
But in kind of following that up, you know, if you asked an average American about China, they would have an opinion. If you asked America about Japan, they would have an opinion. If you asked, you know, about, you know, Spain or some of the major, you know, cultures that have provided Africa, they would be able to tell you something about it. So, you know, Korea would have been somewhere that most people wouldn't know anything other than North Korea is bad.
So Gundam Style, huh?
Well, and now culturally they're so much more open. No. It's really smart.
It's a part. Go ahead.
No, good.
No, I was going to say it's a part of it. Like, you know, Korea also historically, you got Korea, you got Japan, you got Taiwan, you got the Philippines, right? Those are all kind of affiliated loosely with the United States over there, right? And they've been kind of subject to our cultural importation. Just our influences kind of loosely considering them into Western culture, right? They're outposts of Western culture to a certain degree. But like you said, when that Gangnam Style took over, that let South Korea realize that, we can culturally start fighting our war back and establishing our footprint. Like you said, I didn't realize that was an ultimate goal of theirs, but I definitely know that the Korean military industrial complex is behind its entertainment because number one, Samsung is the biggest company in Korea, right? And they're also involved in all the business dealings and everything. Samsung's involved with music. Samsung's involved with the military. Samsung's involved with the government over there. That's how big they are. It's like South Korea in and of itself hits way above its weight as far as its power and influence. And now for you to say that, I mean, everybody over there has to serve 2 years in the military.
Why do you think they fought so hard for the Olympics?
That's why.
Because you don't got to go to the Olympics if you go.
Because it's a cultural, high point.
It's a spotlight on your country and your traditions and what you want to represent to the world.
And it means that you're a place that matters.
A destination.
You're a destination.
Yep, the Seoul Olympics were huge.
Oh yeah, it was huge. It was a way to market yourself and create establish yourself on the world stage. Yeah, wow, man.
Crazy.
People use these mediums, man, because they know the power of creativity and that longing that I think people have to have access to something new and different and dope and just artistically satisfying their hunger, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, but all in all, we need to gun us down and get to come back because he'll cause world peace. You know what I'm saying? I think his name is PYS or some shit like that. I try to look it up.
Psy.
Hey, Psy, come the fuck back. We need you for world peace. It's all up to him. He's like, it's all up to him, man. Word. So what you got coming out next for us? PECUE. My bad. Sorry, I'm sick.
I don't know what's going to be next. I'm going to probably just like release a lot of production, a lot of artwork. Right now, I'm working on Pusherman and Great God are working on a project together.
Oh wow!
And I'm doing the artwork and part of the rollout for it. It's going to be cool. Those guys have like a very like 360 view of like what they want the project to be. So it's going to hit from all different angles. I don't want to talk too much about it because they actually haven't even like really announced the album yet. So I can't go into too much detail, but I can say that I'm doing the artwork. And I actually, I was talking to Pusherman about it yesterday, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's going to be like, now, like when the Clips album came out, and it was like they're doing a collaboration with Carhartt. Then they got a collab. It's like they kind of hit from. It was like a multi-sensory rollout where there's all these things. I feel like those guys are going to be kind of doing like the independent underground version of that. There's going to be like different things that come from it that are. It's not going to be just your typical dropping the album cover, then the vinyl and CD and cassette come out, and then everybody gets their cassette, and then we move on to the next project. They're like, I think they want to have this thing last in like the consciousness of everybody for a while.
That's exciting.
All right, that's dope.
Yeah.
Which makes me think of something, because when we were talking about the whole mass appeal thing, you know how I knew you guys brought it up on the show before, but it's the joke that I yell at when you guys are talking. It's an episode that I'm not on, and I yell. You guys were talking about the Big L album.
Yeah.
And what I was trying to think, what I was like, I forget when I sent this to you guys for, but I feel like part of the thing that makes things a little bit, like it makes the water a little bit murky on a lot of these things is like everything's put on the same pedestal as far as the release. So like the Big L album was really a mixtape, but it would have been, because everything comes through streaming now, like even like when you look at like guys that drop, 10 albums a year, it's a weird context because like in the past, it would have been 1 or 2 albums and then 6 or 7 of those would have been mixtapes, radio freestyles, features on something else, but they all kind of get put into this category of album because they're all just getting played off of our phone.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, I feel like people judge the Big L album as an album, and a lot of people didn't like it. But it was like, if that was a Green Lantern mixtape in 2006, it would have been incredible. You know what I mean? Like, people would have viewed it as incredible, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Green Lantern.
And I think that's kind of the same as what albums are now. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like we don't get that special thing, like, on Nas dropping an album, it would have been, and that's kind of a bad example. Like, if we had like Jay-Z dropping an album in like 2002, there would have been a track record of like possibly a mixtape and then a bunch of like a Funk Flex freestyle and all of that stuff. Now everybody just puts all that energy into an album. And I think for a lot of ways, it makes like a lot of albums. We probably have more albums hidden, you know, like say in 2003, we had like a couple 8s, couple 9s, and then a lot of 2s. Whereas now I feel like there's so much shit that's at like a 6 or 7. And I feel like that's what I say. Like, I want to see somebody like transcend a little bit. I want to see somebody make like a legitimate 9. You know what I mean? Like, it would be cool to see Rome Street's album being held in that same regard as the Clips album when it came out. I don't think we're far away from that. The music is incredible.
Right.
I'm sorry. I got a question then. No, I was going to say I got a question then in that same breath.
Sorry.
When you're thinking of that criteria, give me 5 albums that you feel like over the past era have come out and set those high water marks. What are the 5 albums that you feel like have existed? Because there have to be some that you feel like where people have definitely done their duty according to this, like, you know, standing out, creating a standout project. What would it be? Give me 5 in your opinion.
Are you saying in the abyss or in music in general?
Yeah, in the abyss.
See, that's where it's hard for me. It's hard for me to like give my opinion on this because there's just so much stuff. And then
that's my point. Yeah, that's my point.
And then like,
if I just want to clarify, you weren't necessarily talking about the quality of the project, but the weight of the project in opinion, correct?
Yes. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, I think because it's a harder thing to really ask because I don't think there have been many because of that saturation and the fact that you know all of these projects come out. So
there have been no peaks.
Sorry, guys.
It's just nothing that gets the appreciation on that extra level.
I agree. I have wrote down 6.
I think I can prove y'all all. Yeah, go ahead.
Reloaded, Kiss the Ring, Pressure Cooker by Daniel Son and Future Wave, Fly Guy, Reasonable Drought, Tenor Talk 3, Reject 2. That's just the ones I just wrote down right now. All those projects right there sometimes held the formula. But to PECUE and Carl, in my defense, for saying like, yeah, I want to hear something else. Those are 6 albums out of 27,000.
And here's the thing, though: all of those albums. This is kind of the point that I'm trying to make. All of those albums are 5 years old or older,
except Kiss the Ring. Again, Kiss the Ring is the only one that's
2 years.
4 years. That's 2 years. That's only 2 years, huh?
I think 2 years.
It might be 3.
3 even. Yeah.
And that's also in a lot of ways, like, even though Rome had done so much work, that was like, in a lot of ways, it was like Rome's coming out party, because it's like he had put out all these incredible projects, and then it was like his Griselda release. Are you guys familiar with? They use it in like economics, but it started out in, I think, in comedy, It's called the Lindy Law.
No,
What's that?
I've heard of
So,
it.
okay, so basically, it started with there was like a
Lindy Law.
deli diner type of thing in Times Square called Lindy's Diner, and that's where like comedians and actors, we'll say stand-up comedians, when they're trying to like go around and do all their spot dates, they would convene at the end of the night in this diner, and they're just in there, you know, having breakfast and drinking coffee and talking shit. One of them came up with this concept, and I'm kind of getting this wrong, but it's like anything that's like not a product that doesn't expire. So like you can't apply it to food or anything like that, but it's like, let's say for example, a comedian gets a sitcom and they make the sitcom. The longer, like let's say if the sitcom lasts for one season, that means that it's got a better chance of going 2 seasons. If it goes 2 seasons, it's got a better chance of going to 4 seasons. It's almost like the longer something lasts in somebody's attention, the longer of a success that it has to keep going on.
Yeah.
Am I being clear? Like I don't.
I was looking at it right here.
So it's like, this is my point
Like momentum.
on doing the rollouts. If a project comes out for a day and you say it's dope, you listen to it, you do your 2 listens, you go to their Instagram and you hit 5 fire emojis under where they posted the cover. If you move on that next day, the chances of you coming back to that project are less. But if you so like, it's when because I do a lot of these album covers, and it's like, if you put more energy into keeping that one project in the consciousness of the culture, if you have it in somebody's mind for a month, then chances are it's going to last for another month, which means that then it has the chance of lasting for another 2 months, and it can keep going. So it's like, because I say it all the time, it's like, Fly God is coming up on 10 years old. It's still probably the main project that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
And it's like
the main artwork, the
artwork, definitely and it was like, kind of like, I didn't know this at the time because I wasn't actually fully tapped into this lane at the time I went back to it. It also held like a different thing for me because it wasn't on streaming or anything like that. So it was like hard to get to it. Like I didn't buy it when it first came out. I had to go, through YouTube and stuff. But I guess what I'm saying is, it's like, Primo, to your point, where we're talking about where are these peaks at, it seems like a lot of the peaks happened early on because like,
wow,
there wasn't a whole lot of, there was less of it. You know what I mean? So like, and the first ones that came out
had that much more gravity.
It was really incredible. Yeah. Now, if somebody puts out 10 albums a year, it's like, for the first year, I get it. Like, they've proven that they can make a nice body of work that's good music. But if somebody puts something out and they're gonna, because like, if you look at the example of Rome, since Rome has elevated, the amount that he puts out is less.
Yeah.
And it's almost, and I'm assuming that's conscious because it's like, it's the same thing as like how I was saying before. Like, if a rapper first came out in 2004, they're going to drop a bunch of mixtapes. They're going to get on as many features as they can. And then they're going to try to do like freestyles and stuff like that, get on other people's mixtapes. And then as their career keeps going forward, what you're really waiting for is that album that you've been waiting for from that person. And then they're going to go on to like possibly the traditional way of, an album every year and a half or whatever. I think our attention spans are more where like, I think people probably do need to put out more than one album every year and a half, even when they get to a certain point. But it's like, if somebody puts out an album on Friday and I'm excited for it, but I also know that they're going to drop another album 3 weeks later, you're not giving me enough time to like
to digest it,
live my life. And like, I'm not just sitting around listening to music all the time. Like, the songs that mean the most to me are the songs that I've actually like experienced life to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more that you're going through that, because, you know, like, as I was like, not to get into like my personal life, but like, there's a lot of what has gone on in this lane in the last couple of years with like, you know, taking care of my mom and my dad passing away. It's kind of a dark time. So like, I wasn't really leaning on this music for that time. You know what I mean?
It's not
like,
the
that's
music to
going to
listen
send
to.
you down somewhere bad. So like, I don't have a lot of like, you know, like a lot of times I'm checking out most people's projects, but I'm not playing them over and over because it's, you know, by default, a pretty dark subset of music, and, you know, is what it is. But I guess what I'm saying is like, I feel like there's space for some people to go up that one level, 2 levels that just gets them. We as listeners start to like hold those projects more important. I feel like, because it's like the things that no matter what you feel about Action Bronson, I remember like hearing him on like a couple mixtapes and then hearing his first album. But then when he started to elevate, where like friends that weren't fully tapped into like underground hip hop were starting to take notice of him, it was kind of fun to see somebody go, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like kind of the same as like, I always bring up Wu-Tang Forever as an example. Like, that was not by any means a commercial album, but the whole world was paying attention to Wu-Tang at the time. So it made that album so much more fun. And they were promoting the album at every possible level. They're with Ben Stiller on the MTV Video Music Awards. They also have people doing street promotion in West Philly. You know what I mean? Like, so you're kind of catching it in it's like a 7-layer cake of your attention. You see it at every level, and it almost makes it more important to you.
That's dope.
Yeah, true indeed. I really.
So it's almost like that's what I try to think. Like that's why I try to work on with the projects, because you put a lot of thought and energy into making these things and then doing the artwork for it. Like, if you're going to hire me to do the artwork, I want this thing to have legs a little bit. I don't want to be the dude that's like just talking shit about how many album covers I did. Like, I want those to have impact.
Absolutely.
True indeed. I posted that, yo. Pretty much, what we got, bro?
What do you guys think? Like, what do you guys like?
I think I'm. Who wants to go first?
Nope, you take it.
You go first.
Pause.
Yep.
I definitely agree. I think one reason why Rome doesn't make a lot of albums anymore is because he's busy, because he's finally made it successful. So he's overseas, he's here, there, and everywhere. He doesn't have time to record 6, 7 albums anymore. He's doing shows. That's one thing in this genre, in this lane, that a lot of people don't do. They don't play shows. They just rap. They put it out there. They just rap. Then you get busier. You don't have time to record a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing shows, you're out of state, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think one of the good things about Mickey Diamond last year is he let us miss him.
Yeah.
For a while. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Pro dropped one album. You let us breathe. So then we'll appreciate the project much better. The rollout for Dirt Wave 3 was incredible. The artwork was incredible. Everything he did was dope to make the album. I can't say better than what it was, because it was dope. It obviously won album of the year. It elevated everything. So you're right. The rollout has a lot to do with the album. Just like I said before, Clips. That was probably the best rollout we're gonna see from not anything from the 2090s. Right now, that was the best rollout in the last 15 to 20 years.
So
easily.
let me offer a different perspective. I think
sorry. I'm dying.
We view and listen to these projects differently than an average music consumer, because we're in a business, so to speak, where you're creating artwork and you're tapped in, and it's important to know what a lot of these drops sound like and where the direction's going and all those kind of things. And us as podcasters, we feel it's our responsibility to try to check out a lot of projects, everything that drops. So we, a lot of times, I know Primo Jab said earlier, I feel seen. We'll, listen to the album a couple of times, jump on that Instagram, hit those 5 fire emojis, and then we're off to whatever else is going on. That doesn't necessarily mean that, when Primo Jab's working out, he doesn't have certain albums in his playlist, but it does become difficult to elevate anything in our perspective, because we have to listen to so much.
Sure.
Whereas a lot of the average fans aren't listening to everybody's drop. If they're a fan of Rome, they're tapped into what Rome's doing, and they're playing Rome all the time. And if you're an SDNAC fan, if you're, an Al Divino fan, or if you're a Makami fan, you're tapped into those particular veins of this river. And
Action Bronson.
And you're able to consume. I don't think that negates what you said about the importance of a drop and having something that just doesn't hit for a day and is gone, because I do think it's going to gain you a lot more retention. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's hard for me to see the forest from the trees, because I'm in the middle of it with all of these projects dropping, and it's so many. For the last 3 years, we've had just an insane amount of music and good music come out. Mm-hmm. But I don't think everybody's going to feel that way, because they don't feel the responsibility that we do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. It's weird for me too, because I'm hitting this from the artwork side mm-hmm. and to a certain extent the music side, and it's like, like sometimes when you go, I'm primarily a sample-based producer. And if I'm searching for samples and you start to see, you end up in certain spots online and you start to see like how lazy some of the producers, I mean, you can literally mm-hmm. like Luke, you remember when, in 2020, I did some artwork for a song you had with Mondo on it. And I think it was one of the ones you did. It was when you were doing the Loopy Cage thing. Yeah. And it's like, but it's like, you're like, I remember when me and you had the conversation, you're like, yeah, I'm just looping it up. Like almost like, I don't want to say dismissing it, but it's almost like you're not put in like this effort that like you're going to see from like a Future Wave or something like that. I
didn't know how to do it. I figured that's why it's just like kind of like it's a joke. Like, but I'm still wanting to wrap up. Yeah, I definitely word.
But the thing is, that's what a lot of producers are doing.
I get that.
I brought this up several times. Rock Marcy, I found some of his samples, and sometimes he don't do nothing to it. It just sounds good. Terminology. Mm-hmm. Said, I just find a loop, and if it sounds good,
I mean, but it's fine if it sounds good.
Remember Alchemist, the realist, just a loop. So if it sounds good,
exactly.
Nicholas Craven does it all the time. But and then you have other people who are doing like immaculate. You can't tell the sample. So it's like
no, and it's not even so much that I want that. Like I don't want to sit here. I spent way too much time being the nerdy producer dude that's picking apart what people are doing technically. I'm just saying, like, it ruins it for me sometimes. Mm-hmm. If not only, but it's not only just knowing what somebody did. It's almost more like you can go into YouTube and type in rare samples, you might find somebody's whole album in a playlist.
God dang.
Like you might find
that's horrible.
like what somebody produced for their whole album on a playlist. And it's just that. It's just the, you know what I mean? Like they ripped the song off of YouTube, looped it up, and then that's the album. That doesn't speak to the people I named before. When you have your Future Wave, your Spanish Ran, and what those guys are doing is incredible. But it's also too like, and I'm not even saying it like knocking somebody's production techniques, because sometimes that sounds better. Like sometimes there's plenty of producers that overcook their beats by trying to, you know what I mean? Like they're really trying to jerk themselves off on how they're chopping the sample, what they're doing, what they're doing. I'm just saying it like, I think because it's so much easier to do that now than it was for Large Professor to do that in 1992. The barrier of entry is lower, so you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like the more people are able to do, the more, it's like, what if people, instead of being so hell-bent on watching the NBA, if the in thing to do was people started paying tickets for pickup basketball games.
Interesting.
And then like, that's like kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like
what's happening now, huh? in the beat world.
No, because that makes it sound like that I'm bitching about the music, and the music quality is really good. I'm just saying that it's like so much to me as a listener that's hitting a level 7. Whereas like, when we're speaking to what Primo said, like, what are the peaks? I feel like there's a little bit more room right now for people to just take it up one notch higher, and it's going to make their projects that much special. And I'm saying this purely as a fan. This isn't like for people that I'm doing artwork for or anything like that.
No, definitely.
That's all I was just, I mean, I didn't want you to feel like there was any sort of political pressure or anything on that answer or that question I was given. But I think personally that we're on the verge of people having that exact realization that you said, is that, this has been a very bountiful time over these past 2-3 years, let's say. And it's time for people to push forward and distinguish themselves. So I feel like we're going to hear some projects that come out in 2026 that are going to be those projects of that next wave. If you said it takes 5-10 years for things to kind of go through this cycle to get to another point, I think we're at that point now. I think, for example, even this year, just a quick, easy one to say is that 656 Rock Marcy. I think that's a change of the guard as far as his style goes, and it's obvious that it's a standalone album that he made to separate himself. I think Mickey Diamond right now, him and Ghost, doing Big Ghost doing their thing. They're on part 2 of the trilogy. So in all of those projects so far have sounded, the 2 that are out both sound amazing.
Have you done the back-to-back on Wolf Tickets and Black Sheep?
No, I haven't listened to them.
Listen to it all the way through. Okay. Sick.
All right.
Sick.
All right. But yeah, I say that to say, I mean, that's just 2. I mean, that's just the 3 off the top of my head that I can think of right now that I feel like there are some examples of some things that are about to start happening that are already happening. Like, I feel like you're going to get your wish this year. I think there's going to be a lot of work that comes out.
And the other thing too is like how we mentioned like Stove being on the Clips album. That's what I'm saying. Like I see artists like, and Mickey is one of them. Like when I first heard Mickey, do you guys remember, I guess it was 2023, Matt Hunter put out the mixtape with Mickey, the Pink Panther tape, and did the artwork for it. We were talking about that for quite some time before that project came out. It was before my mom got sick. And at the time, Mickey only had a few projects out at the time. But when Matt sent me his music and then I tapped in, I was like, this dude's out of here. Like right away, I heard it. Like you could just tell, like he just had that thing of like just being like, so creative. The music is so hard though, but it just has something different to it that was like, I don't know, it just had like a little different spice on it than like a lot of the music in this lane that I was hearing at the time. And I see him as somebody that could end up on like if he ended up on a song with Pusha T, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, he has kind of a similar swagger like Biggie had. Just like an aura about it.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not mad at that comparison at all. I know exactly what you're saying about it.
It's the confidence of somebody who knows what they have. You know what I mean? Like, you've got a full house in your hand, and you're just waiting for everybody to finish making their bets.
Mm.
Yeah. But I see him having that, because it's like, I mean, Method Man's been a huge co-signer of this lane.
Mm-hmm.
And the two names that I hear him say the most are Nicki and Rome.
Yeah.
And I think it means something when you have Method Man hitting this, even when he was on, I forget which podcast, he was on one of those shows, and they even brought up like Rock to Meth. And Method Man was like, Rock's the type of dude, like he should be dictating what hip hop is, like which direction it's going in. That was Method Man's words. But it's kind of like, I feel like as more and more people are starting to see it, they're starting to take notice. And it's like, did you guys hear that song? I think it was like last week that Swizz Beatz was playing his song with Stove God.
Stove song.
Mm-hmm.
That song was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the more you're starting to see that Conductor getting on the Drake, you know, like you can't always quantify the Alchemist thing, because Alchemist he's been around for forever.
He exists in multiple eras, and
he actually came to this lane and brought it up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he elevated people.
That's why I fuck with him, I think, even harder, is because he chose to kind of say, hey, I like it over here.
I can do this my way.
This is what I'm on over here.
He's one of the most interesting hip hop figures ever.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird.
Yeah.
like growing up in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, like
around will.i.am.
Something that's kind of makes him an anomaly too is he's mentored by Muggs and then kind of mentored by Primo to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is pre people emailing beats and songs to each other. He's doing independent music on the East and West Coast as a college kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it makes it super interesting. And he can be studied, like how we talk about art. Like you can almost study him like Picasso. Like he has these different eras of music and all of them are fucking crazy. He's like, I don't think we all realize how famous he is right now.
He is. And he talks about how also, didn't he go to high school with will.i.am and Leonardo DiCaprio? So these are two other gigantic figures, because will.i.am, leader of Black Eyed Peas, sold out Wembley Stadium for 2 nights in a row. That's 80,000 people in the stands in a different country selling out. And he always gives back and is like, yo, will.i.am, I mean, like, it going back and thinking like, So he's a really interesting person. All three of those guys, for them to know each other and be what they are, it's just crazy to me. Like, that's the crazy big three.
I think they went to, I think those guys went to like one of those sort of like creative and performing arts high schools. And I think it was like a mix of like just being creative and a lot of kids that were like the children of actors and LA musicians. Because I heard him say before that like Angelina Jolie was in the mix with them in high school. Like it's like a crazy mix of people. Like you don't, it makes it's so interesting to me.
It truly is, yo. It truly is. Primo Jack, what we got, bro?
Bro, I mean, first of all, man, it's great to see you again and hear your insights, man, as a a multifaceted creative. It's like earlier you said it, and it's just stuff that's been blowing my mind this whole time since you said it. How your graffiti influenced your art, and then but you say no, it influences graffiti influences the way you make beats, and just the translation of your ability to visualize what you do as a producer, and then learning how to, like, I guess, use it as a palette again and create this art. It just, again, I don't know, man. I'm not an artist, but just hearing you, the way you've explained your approach and your multimedia perception, yeah, man. I think you're about to be onto something, man. Like, that's another thing that we need, is somebody who's focused on the process of the rollout. And if you approach it in the same rule of no rule that you have been doing everything else that you're doing, I mean, that's going to be the next level. That's what's going to allow people to put these projects out that are going to create an impact onto the psyche of people, you know?
Thank you,
So,
man.
yeah, man. But it's just great to see you again, man. It's good to talk to you, man. Great to hang out, man. You know, happy we could get you on
I
here.
feel like, yeah, I love coming on here with you guys and like chopping up with you guys, you know, not on here. Like whether it's, you know, I'm always sending Carl crazy voice memos and whatever. But yeah, man, I'm very excited. About a year ago, I was kind of jaded with some of the stuff in this lane, not for what anybody else was doing. It was just my personal, you know, like how I was digesting everything. And I'm excited to see where it goes. Cause I do, like, to your guys' point, I do see that there's, like, I don't know, I feel like certain things lifted the ceiling a little bit, and we are going to see somebody kind of pop in and fill some space, and maybe like even some like actual commercial recognition on a lot of the people in here. Because
you seen that new UFO feed? I don't mean to cut you off, but UFO feed got this new joint that looks like it gives you that feel of a big budget 2000s era video. I'll say that and let y'all go check it out. But feed might be right there too. UFO feed.
Yeah.
It could be that.
I feel like he's always on the cusp. Like he's been on the cusp of that since I first became aware of him. Like he has that thing. I feel like I say his name a lot, but I feel like Spanish Ran has the possibility to do that as a producer. Like
that new Spanish Ran album is dope.
Yeah, see, you killed that shit in the first. Sauce Heights, what up?
I didn't hear it yet, but I feel like he.
Check it out.
That shit dark.
He's got that like court vision of like hip hop as a whole, and I feel like he's kind of tapped into everything else. Where I think we need like in the way that Method Man is like in on this lane, the way that Alchemist was before. I think the more like dot connectors we have, on getting it into something else, kind of just creates. I don't know. I feel like there's more than just the music and even the artists.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That can like do something like what you guys do. I feel like I don't know. Somebody came along and like I know and my apologies if I'm going on too long, but like I remember a couple years ago I had talked to Ben yesterday or the day before, OG Ben, and a few years ago him like he was going to do a website, and then he decided not to go with it. There was like a little bit too much headache on it, but at the time it almost felt like it was going to be like the Abyss's complex, if that makes sense. Like some stuff that just had like where there was like content for multiple people in one place, but then like also information on like all the vinyl releases coming together in one place. And, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's room for people to do shit like that then that like elevates it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that.
Great idea.
That'd be dope.
And shout out to Music Man Ben.
Yeah. OGB.
OGB.
Carl, what we got, bro?
Yeah, I normally I take this opportunity to tell our guests, how I feel about them, but you know how I feel about you, and I love getting all the voice messages, and I respect you so much as an artist, but I appreciate your friendship so much more. And we can't do another 2-year gap. I know we were supposed to have you on a while ago, and it was a real crazy time for you. So I'm glad things are smoothing out a little bit. And yeah, we got to do this way more.
Yeah, maybe if I drop one of these projects, get them off my computer, I'll have something to promote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do the Dave Chappelle and wrap it up. Just put 4 songs a piece. Four songs a piece or something. I don't know.
No,
6 songs a piece.
One thing though. That's one thing. Yeah, I gotta shout you out for that before we get out of here. Before we let you go, bro. Like, the fact that you're working on all those different projects, man, don't change that. Keep doing what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that, because again, there's just so many different feelings that you might have, so many different moods you might be in, so many different things you might need to express. And those are all different chambers for you to do that.
Yeah.
And they're giving you the ability to work outside of the rules again, and just be present in that moment. So yeah, when you said that, I was like, yo, that's dope. I'm glad you're doing that, man. Keep doing that.
But when we get off of this, I'm going to send you guys something to our little group chat that we keep.
Yes. All right.
I'll send you something I got in the tank. A song that I'm pretty proud of.
Do that. Yeah. Do that. Do that. You know what I'm saying? I just made that up. No, I didn't. Anyway, nice hanging out with you again, PECUE. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get you back on here when you drop your trip hop album. Yeah, definitely, man. I know we booked for like months, but yeah, we can slide you in here.
Almost 2027, man.
God dang, man.
When Primo hit me recently about coming on, I was like, I can't not take this because I don't know when it's going to come up again.
It's quite tough. You know what I'm saying? Riggs just came back in the mix. We're gonna get Riggs on here. You know what I'm saying? And we
excited about that.
May. Yeah. Shout out to Riggs. Shout out to Uncle John. Dropped something today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the homies out there that are doing their thing in this beat. They got your peaks and got your valleys. I'm glad we peaking. You know what I'm saying? No peaking time. Yeah, but we peaking, man. Word. All right. Well, I guess we'll see y'all next week. Y'all stay cool. Y'all drink water. You know what I'm saying? And I don't got nothing funny to say this weekend. I don't got nothing funny to say. I don't got it.
And peace.
And yo, I've been blowing my nose way too much and coughing, yo. How about this? When you go to the bathroom, wash your hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, wash your hands.
Everybody should stay clean, yo. Stay healthy, yo.
Don't be
got
gross.
This dude named Joe. Come on. I work with this dude named Joe. He a bitch and a hoe. He'll snitch on you. And everybody knows. He can never be my homie or my man's because he went to the bathroom and didn't wash his hands. Went to the bathroom.
Bars.
Then set the pedal. Yeah, it's a whole song. I dissed the nigga in the whole song. He went to the bathroom.
Great.
Yeah. Before he sat down, he ain't put no toilet paper down. Yeah. Word. He didn't. He just sat down on the toilet.
Going raw on the toilet.
Then you make a pooping noise, just like Then like you hear him, then you hear him just go out. So I went to the sink. I was like, "Can I hear the water in the back stall?" So I turned the water on. I went back in there. I was listening to it. I was like, "Yeah, I could definitely hear the water." He didn't wash his hands. Then I thought to myself, "Yo, this dude didn't even wipe." Everybody out there, please wash your hands. Keep people. Hey, yo, boom! Another time. This is crazy. He was stacking the pallet out of work. You see him digging his butt a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then he looks around like this. He says, I'm like, yo, if it itches, you definitely got to clean yourself, bro. That's what I teach my daughter. It's on the little cocoa bean shit. Everybody out there, wash your hands. Lysol.
Wash your hands and change your sheets.
Change your sheets. Oh my God.
Wipe your ass. Get a bidet or something.
Change your sheets is important. After I go to sleep tonight, I'm washing these sheets so I won't get sick again. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's
Lysol the mattress too.
Oh my gosh. I got the Lysol in here somewhere. It's in here. JC probably took it.
All right, everybody.
Everybody, stay healthy, man. Stay healthy. Wash your hands, filthy animals.